what may be inside a person's head by observing behavior.
It's a tool, and a very important tool, in the day and age where we're in a battle against terrorism. Clearly, people are what defeated us on 9/11, not weapons.
Boston's Logan Airport, the departure point for the terrorists who destroyed the World Trade Center, turned to this training known as behavioral observation after 9/11 by hiring Israeli expert Rafi Ron.
Which is an extremely violent agenda. Is something that affects the mental situation of the person, and we're trying to look for that.
Among the indicators are micro-expressions, facial movements that can be very difficult to control during a high-stress attempt at deception.
What is the purpose of your visit today?
The Communication Science Center at the University at Buffalo, funded in part by the Department of Homeland Security, uses a simulated security checkpoint to study micro-expressions, small movements among 44 different muscles in the face that can reveal fear, distress, and other emotions tied to deception.
You get this tug of war over control of the face, and so the emotion is sending one signal saying, be afraid, and the outer part of the brain is saying, be poker-faced, don't show anything. And what happens as a function of this tug of war is occasionally bits of the emotion leak out, and they happen very quickly.
Director Mark Frank began studying behavior when he was a bar bouncer during college.
No, I wouldn't do that. I'm an honest person.
He could easily see that I'm a lousy liar.
You're seeing a little configuration of distress in the eyebrows, so they're sort of being pulled up and together a little bit in response to this question. And you're also sort of shaking your head saying no when you say, I am an honest person.
Behavioral observation worked well enough at Logan Airport that the Transportation Security Administration is now embracing the approach at more than a dozen airports around the country and plans to expand the program by training 500 officers in the technique over the next 2 years. But even advocates of behavioral observation concede it's far from fail-safe.
There is no Pinocchio response. There is no behavior in all people in all situations that guarantees that somebody is lying.
Still, proper training might have prevented attempted shoe bomber Richard Reed from getting onto the plane he tried to blow up. A private security officer in Paris questioned Reed, found him suspicious, and called in the police. But French police, with no behavioral observation training, let him go. Another reason experts say the best way to improve airport security is to combine technology with human analysis to spot potential terrorists before they have an opportunity to act. Alan Chernoff, CNN, Buffalo, New York.
And joining me now, Mary Schiavo, a former Inspector General at the Transportation Department, and Rafi Ron, the gentleman you just saw in our piece. He is the former head of security at Israel's Ben Gurion Airport, who helped create the behavior screening program at Logan Airport in Boston. He is now CEO of New Age Security Solutions. Good to have both of you with us. So bottom line, Mary, here, we know that this program worked in Israel, El Al, one of the safest airlines in the world. Why wouldn't it work here?
Well, because the scale is different. We have 50, 60,000 flights a day. We have tens of thousands of security personnel. And on 9/11, we had lax security because, in part, we were looking for the magic bullet in the computer-assisted passenger pre-screening program, which is passenger behavioral and intent profiling. We have to have a combination of programs, and we dare not trust profiling.
You also think there would be so many training problems associated with this that it simply isn't worth doing it independently.
Well, that's the problem. It fails a 3-eye test. You know, some of this is, you know, illegal, certain kinds of profiling. Some of it is just simply impractical. And the reason is, and we learned this on 9/11, what they did on 9/11 is basically had a profiling system with additional screening to get rid of weapons, and the profiling system turned into the least common denominator. No one was properly trained, and on 9/11, had they gotten the weapons, and they should have under the law, the attacks would have been thwarted. And so the profiling became a crutch which thwarted the real security, which is keeping weapons off of planes.
Well, Rafi, what about that? I mean, we have trouble training screeners to be able to spot even concealed weapons. How is it then that overnight you'll be able to train these people to be, as some have described, behavioral scientists?
Well, first of all, it's not overnight, but it does take a couple of days or a little bit more than that. But I think we have proven at Logan Airport that this is possible. We started this program with the Massachusetts State Police officers at the airport, and the program immediately became very successful. The officers show a lot of capability in using the program within the framework, the legal framework of what the law allows them, and avoiding racial profiling, which was the main concern at the time.
Okay, that is a huge concern to address now, Mary, because you know that the ACLU is very concerned about it. It has said this is way too subjective, and individual screeners' prejudices can be used as a basis to stop anyone. What's your concern?
And they have a good point. Well, they have a good point. What people don't realize is if you start profiling kinds of individuals, if you look at, for example, at the Muslims in the United States, they're between 2.5 and 8 million, and 1/3 of them are black. Now, so where's our profiling going to work there? And besides, by the way, they said it's been successfully proven at Logan Airport. I was through Logan Airport today for some of the unveiling of the new puffer equipment. How many terrorists have they caught? You have to prove a behavioral profiling program on catching terrorists. Israel can. I doubt that we can.
Rafi Ron, you get the last word.
I think that techniques are measured not by the number of terrorists that we manage to actually arrest, but our ability to deter terrorists from actually launching an attack. And the Israeli model has proven to be very, very effective in deterring these attacks for the last 30 years. What we started at Logan is a good beginning. It's an American program. It is within the law, and it is avoiding racial profiling.
Rafi Ron, Mary Schiavo, thank you for both of your opinions tonight. And still ahead, what may be the next